Hi, this is Anna from Post Me a Book. Going to do my first book haul. Sort of becomes my second book haul because I did this and then I even set up the pod, as I know they're now called. Let's call them the clip, as I always have. The clip, and then my brother sent me a text message saying, take it down, there is no sound. And I was so not amused. This wasn't today, so this had nothing to do with Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th have actually been quite all right. Nothing strange has happened. So, well, strange, nothing particularly strange. So anyway, here I am back again, take two of my first ever book haul. And I was really excited then when I did it actually because this book haul, it contains new books. I will say that some of them are brand new books. One is a second hand, but I haven't read it, and another one is a second hand, but I haven't read that one either. So I'll get right into it. This one won't be very long. I'll make sure it's not very long just in case I have to do it yet again. I hope you're all having a good Friday, a quiet or a fun Friday, let's say. So let me get right into it. The first book was, let me just bring them here. I'm going to put on this other side because otherwise I feel that if I don't put in this earphone, I'll probably keep hitting the other one and I think it will start making sounds. So let me both put earphones both sides. Oh yeah, I didn't quite explain why I have these. Yeah, even the phone stopped working. The microphone died. So last time I've been using a clip-on microphone, but I couldn't find it today. Perhaps there is something about Friday the 13th. It's probably going to be all good from here on. It's nearly finished anyway, the day. Okay, focus now. Back to the books. My first book, I have 4 books that I bought 3 books that I bought brand new and 2 that are second hand. So if I start with the first one, which is, let's see if I can show it. Now this one's definitely got a lot of glare. Miss Smila's Feeling for Snow by Peter Hoeg. I'm sure I've read this book a long time ago. It was my brother's and I was so sure that we had it somewhere in the house. But I failed to find it. And I'd got a comment a while back when I started my book channel that the person who commented thought that Miss Smila's Feeling for Snow should definitely be classified as a classic, not as an olden day sort of classic, but a very good book. And because I can't really remember it at all, I decided, well, let me try and read it again. So I was forced to buy it because I really cannot find the book. I'll probably find it today because that's the way life is. But I'm very ready to read it. I cannot remember it at all. And it was very popular in its day. Actually, I'll take one of these headphones off because I can't quite hear myself. The author Peter Hoeg, is it Hoeg? He's a Danish author, and this was his. He's written other books, but I think this was his breakthrough book. Let's see. I can see if I can get less glare on it. Something like that. This was his breakthrough book, and it is a type of thriller. It says on the back, one snowy day in Copenhagen, 6-year-old Isaiah falls to his death from a city rooftop. The police pronounce it an accident, but Isaiah's neighbor, Smila, suspects murder. She embarks on a dangerous quest to find the truth, following a path of clues as clear to her as footsteps in the snow. So it actually sounds quite exciting. Yeah, and my brother thought it was a very good book, so I'm definitely ready to read it. So that was the first one. And if I take the next one, now this one gets so much glare because it's completely yellow. Let's see, there, it's called We Are All Birds of Uganda. And this one is by Hafsa Zayaan, and this is her debut book actually. She's an author who's, let me think, she's part Nigerian, part, was it Bangladesh or India? I'm sorry, I've forgotten. I knew last time I did this, this book haul, I got it right then, but I apologize, this time I actually can't remember offhand. And she says that, I read somewhere that she says that she's often mistaken for African, and they miss her Asian side, and she has to keep trying to motivate that she's actually Asian as well, because when I look at her, she can be both. It probably is just people who, I mean, you can say either or, but she feels that she has to motivate more that she's Asian. But anyway, another reason why she wrote this book, she said that she didn't know that time that Amin had sent out a lot of Indians. Ah, yeah, she's Indian, I remember. A lot of Indians from Uganda, and her husband is, or her partner is Indian, and he knew about it. So he also helped give her some information on what it was. He wasn't there, I don't think, because I think they're both too young to have lived through Amin's time, but he might have had relatives. So this book seems to be placed in two periods of time. A time when an Indian family that lived in Uganda during Amin's time, and another time, which is modern day times, of a younger guy who's caught in between where he wants to work, and caught in between the ties of family duties, that's the word, where he's expected to do certain things because his family thinks he should do it, but he's decided that he wants to do it his own way, but he hasn't quite yet gathered up the courage to tell his family and his friends of his decision. That much I know about the book. And that one I was quite interested in because in one of my last videos I also read a book, The Tragedy of Uganda, and that was with Idi Amin, and that also takes out how Amin kicked out a lot of Asians in Uganda, and very few have come back as compared to how many were there. But Uganda is a different place altogether anyway, so, well, that's not to say people would want to come back to it. But that's another story. But anyway, this is also another book that I am actually looking forward to reading. I had started reading this on Libby, but then I don't know what happened. Either I had to return it. I think I had to return it, and then there was a very, 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 very long queue. So in the end, I had to break my ban of not buying books, because I decided I'm not buying any more books. I've no room for any more books, and there's so many books here to read. I should probably read these first. But of course, every once in a while you want to read something new, because all the books here, none of these are new books. Not that I have anything against that, because old or new, and when I say new books, I mean they're not contemporary books. Old and new, they're still stories that I haven't read, so it's all going to be something new. So in that sense, I have nothing against reading these books, apart from the fact that perhaps I don't want to read certain books. But apart from that, no. The library here is quite open. I don't have to wait for others. I don't have to queue up. So I shall also continue to read books from this library. However, I'm still happy that I bought new books. Okay, that was the second one. Let's see, the third one. The third one is called Goddess Crown. This is by Shade Lapite. And this one is, this is also her debut book, actually. Shade Lapite, I read she's got a book channel called The Coffee Shelves Book. The Coffee Bookshelves. Coffee Bookshelves? Why am I so bad at remembering? I must just think coffee. Yeah, it must be the Coffee Bookshelves. And I've listened to her channel, and I think she's very good. She doesn't post very often, but the ones that I've listened to, I think they're very good. And she's the one she made a post about a book that I thought she did it so well. This one, she's is the newest book in this house. I have to say the newest fictional book because it came out 2000 and the copyright is 2023, but it came out here in Sweden 2024. So it's very, very new, and as you can see, shiny. This one is actually a YA book, and it's about I'll read the back. In fact, Calothia has been raised in hiding, safe from the reaches of the king, until the day the assassin strikes. Soon she's thrust into Gala's royal court, a glamorous and treacherous world dominated by powerful men. With enemies on all sides, the only man she can trust is her bodyguard. To survive the court and avenge those she loves, Calothia must claim the power she was born to wield. So, sounding very exciting. So, another book that I'm looking forward to reading, really, truly. So far all the books in my book haul I'm looking forward to reading, which is just as well. Now, the fourth book is not a new book. Also, I think it was also a debut book. Let's see, you can't quite see. This one's difficult. There. It is Doris Lessing's The Grass is Singing. Oddly enough, I've never read a Doris Lessing book. In fact, when I was looking through that list of books from the African Writers series, from which I'd read 48 Guns by the General and When the Rains, what is it called? When the Rains Come. I was very surprised to see Doris Lessing's name on the list because I was thinking Doris Lessing is not African. What's she doing there? And then I started thinking, well, perhaps she is African. But it turns out she actually isn't African. But she lived in Zimbabwe for many years. And this book is about a woman and her husband in Zimbabwe. Doris Lessing passed away, so and this book was written a long time ago. It was written in, let's see, when she wrote this book, a long time ago. Well, while I'm looking that up, I can say that she's written quite a few books. Short stories, non-fiction, poetry, drama, plus other books. And this one actually came out in 1950. And according to the back, let's see, this is set in Rhodesia, then called Rhodesia. It tells the story of Dick Turner, a failed white farmer, and his wife Mary, a town girl who hates the bush. Trapped by poverty, sat by the heat of their tiny brick and iron house. Mary, lonely and frightened, turns to Moses, the black cook, for kindness and understanding. This one says it's a masterpiece of realism. The Grass is Singing is a superb evocation of Africa's majestic beauty, an intense and psychological portrait of lives in confusion, and most of all, a compassionate exploration of the ideology of white supremacy. I don't know why I've never read Doris Lessing's actually, but so it's about time, so I'm glad I did buy this one. I bought this one online secondhand, and I got a little note from the person who sent it, and she said, "Good luck with your studies." So I guess she wrote it in Swedish. So I guess she read this book for, I guess, English little languages, but I'm reading this just for the pleasure of reading it, and I am looking forward to reading this book. I'm looking forward to reading a Doris Lessing's, and it sounds very interesting. So that was the other book I bought from my book haul. I will take up just another one, although this one was not quite part of the book haul. It was just, I was in a second-hand shop, and I'm not quite sure where I bought this book, really. I have no idea why. I think it's one of those things where you just pick a book because it wasn't that expensive. And this one is, and the other reason why I don't know why I bought this is because it's in Swedish. And although I can read Swedish, I still have, it takes me even longer than reading English, and the English books, and those take me long enough. So this one, I know nothing about the author, and I know nothing about the book, but the author is Sarah Waters, and I was listening to, and this was just truly by chance, by a book booktuber who has a lot of followers, and she was saying that Sarah Waters is one of her favourite authors. And I thought, hang on, I have a book by that lady. But again, it's still in Swedish. I'm not sure. I'll do my best to read it actually. So I'll put it with the Bookhaul books, because I think I'm not going to have time actually to read these books, even though I've bought them just fairly recently. I've got other books I'm reading, so I do not believe I'm gonna get around to reading these ones just yet. I think perhaps towards the end of the year I might do, which is a shame. However, I can wait, no problems. I can wait. They'll still be here. They're mine. No library's gonna be asking for these books. And I think I'll read them all together, because I feel that even though they're so diverse, they seem to work together. Look at the colours. I think they work together. So I'm going to read these books together. Of course, being 5 books, that might take an awful long time. Oh, then again, they're not very long books. It's not like they're 600 pages, are they? Because I still have, talking of 600 pages, I still have Empire of Silence. Still haven't started it. As I said, the library's gonna ask for these books back before I'm done. Anyway, I said that this was gonna be a short video clip, so let me finish now. So thank you for watching. If you watched to the end, hope that this one actually works and all the sound is there and I don't have to do too much with the editing so I can get it out. But until next time, bye bye.